everyone, welcome back to my channel. I haven't quite decided what I'm calling this look yet, but let's go with missing eyes. I don't know, but I'm starting off with just a black eyeliner pencil just to draw a rough circle around the eyes. Now it's really important that I go over the eyebrows so I'm not touching them in any way. You'll see why in a second. Then I'm taking some liquid latex and I'm just pouring it into a small disposable container, and I'll leave that to one side for a second while I rip up some kitchen roll, just thin rough strips. I actually realised afterwards that cotton wool would have worked so much better for this. I'm then taking a disposable sponge and just going over the black circles that I drew around the eye. Now be really careful not to get the liquid latex on the eyebrow, just because it is like glue and it will remove the hair, and I imagine that it could probably be quite painful. I'm then taking that tissue and I'm kind of scrunching it up, if you like, and just sticking it to the latex in a rough circle shape. I feel like if I'd have done this properly and actually drawn the circles, like used a template, maybe a glass or something like that, it would have looked a lot better. And again, like I said, with cotton wool it would have looked even better than that. But once I've covered the black lines and the latex with a circle of tissue, I'm then just taking the liquid latex again and just covering the whole tissue in the latex, if that makes sense. Just because you want to set the tissue in place, you don't want it to move, and also you can't actually colour in the tissue without the latex on top with face paint. I'm then repeating the exact same process for the second eye, and as you can see, it's not too neat. I do kind of wish I'd been a bit neater with this because I think it would have just looked that little bit better. Then I'm taking some black face paint, you can use any face paint for this, on a brush, and I'm just filling in the inside of the circle around the eye area. Again, you don't have to be too neat with this because you'll see in a minute that it won't really matter once you've got the blood and everything else on there. Once the face paint's dried, I'm just taking a black eyeshadow, preferably a matte black eyeshadow, and just setting the face paint with that, just so that it doesn't crease. Next up, I'm taking a concealer. You could also use foundation, but I should warn you that it's really hard to match up foundation or concealer that's applied over latex to your skin tone, so don't be too worried if it isn't an exact match. This always happens to me. I never know whether to go paler or darker. So now that I've done that, I've just used a little bit of foundation just to blend it out over the edges. I can see that it isn't the right shade at the moment, but don't worry about that, I'll go back in and fix it. Then I'm taking this red grease paint that I have from Makeup Forever. You can use any type of face paint or red cream blusher or anything that you have to hand, and I'm just kind of filling the gaps between the black and the liquid latex. This is just to give the illusion of blood and also a bit of depth, so the circles around the eyes look a little bit more raised from the skin. Next, I'm taking coagulated blood. This is also known as scab blood, and it kind of looks like a blood clot slash jam. I know that sounds really gross, but it looks and feels a bit like strawberry jam. It's not blood that's going to run down your face. You can just build it up like a blood clot and it just looks really thick and gooey. And I'm just taking that over the red grease paint and kind of around the outsides too, just to make the whole area look a little bit bloody. So I found an old lace glove. You can use an old pair of tights, you can use fishnets, you can use anything for this really. I just cut 2 circles out of it, roughly the same size as the circles I've drawn around her eyes, and I've kind of just slotted it in. I didn't really need to stick it down. You could use liquid latex, but I just found that my circles kind of stuck to that coagulated blood and it was completely fine. The reason I've used lace and not something else is just to give the impression that her eyes aren't really there, but the lace obviously is there so that she can actually see out of them, if that makes any kind of sense. But this just kind of hides the white of her eyes a little bit more and just looks that little bit scarier. I'm then just taking some foundation and just patching up the rest of her skin before I go back into that coagulated blood and almost just seal the edges around the lace circles that I've created. I'm then going in with regular fake blood, and this is obviously the kind that just drips down your face. You can buy this anywhere, like pound shops, fancy dress shops, supermarkets, everywhere. And I'm just sort of taking that from the border of the circles downwards. If you do take it higher up, just be careful not to get it above her eyelid, because the last thing you want is for that to drip inside her eye. But I just want to make it look like there's blood pouring down from underneath the circles. Then I'm just taking a bit of fake blood and just taking it a bit around the liquid latex latex circles that I've got, just to make it look that little bit scarier. I'm going to bring her hair down, and to finish up, what I'm actually going to do is I found this like piece of material. I think it was a scarf, I don't really know, but it kind of gave me the Grim Reaper vibes, I guess. And I found a toy knife that's plastic. I put a little bit of blood on it. You could wear anything with this outfit, and that is the finished look. I really hope you found this video helpful. If you did, then please give it a big thumbs up. Please do share this video with your friends, and if you recreate this look, then take a photo, tweet it to me, tag me on Instagram. I would love to see it. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!